Hey, this is the Rat Wagon project. Kind of been doing a hot rod modified radial flyer wagon, and my battery's almost dead, so I'll try and get as much as I can for now. The frame is made of just a bed frame. I cut down to size, welded it, and made basically just a rectangle. Put a couple forks out front, and I've cut and flip the front axle from the wagon. That's the original axle from the wagon. Okay, Rat Wagon Part 2. Like I said, this is going to be the frame for or the chassis rather, for a radial flyer wagon. I decided I wanted to do this project a while ago, but anyway. So, bed frame. Put these two end pieces on here, flip the axle over, cut down the original pieces. This is the original toe tongue and axle from the wagon. Just bolted it to the frame. These wheels are actually off an old reel mower. You can see the gear teeth in there. This is the one that it came off of. Right here. So it's got a wooden piece on there. The wheels are kind of heavy because I think they're like cast iron. But I picked that up pretty cheap, just the bottom part, just for the wheels. I went to Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight had these wheels for $4 a piece. I was like, alright, that's cool. Nice cheap wheels for the back. But they're kind of knobby and didn't really fit the look that I wanted. And the rims are nice and white, so I figured, hey, I can paint them. And then I decided not to use those because my wife had made this welding cart stand over here. And the wheels that were on that were these wheels. Obviously they weren't white walls, but they had a better look to them. So I just painted them, cleaned them up and painted them. Used her hubs for the front because they're split rim. And they're just kind of a metal gray color. And they look good. When I painted these, they were actually white. However, with the oils in the tires, they always come through the white spray paint. So that's why they're kind of a cream color now. But that's cool with me because they look like old dirty white walls, which will fit the theme. So far what I've done is I drilled it out already with the holes to mount it to the tub, and I just got done welding on these brackets here to support the rear axle. This is a piece of steel tube, and it's strong enough to support the weight of the axle and everything. I don't know if I'd actually sit in it, but it should be strong enough to hold like a cooler or whatever, maybe a child. And then for the tow bar itself, I don't know what I'm going to use yet, but I'll figure it out and I'll shoot that later. So this is where I'm at so far. Frame's built, axle's welded on, front end of the chassis is pretty much done. I gotta secure the bolts that secure the tires on right now because they're just kind of loose and they spin. Okay, well, guess you can watch me put the back tires on. Now these are just rubber pieces, like handles that were on there, and they fit perfect inside these bearings. So, just kind of put them on there, wiggle them on a little bit. Alright, well, there she is. Rat Wagon. This was a big red wagon, evidently, by Roadmaster. So I'll get a tow bar put on there. There's a few other pieces I plan on putting on it, but this is all I got for now. So I'll show it later once I get the other accessories and things like that put on it. So that's it for now. Okay, I'm not exactly sure where I left off with my last video. I think I'd pretty much gotten it to be a rolling unit, but anyway, with the horn mounted on the front, I finally was able to go over to Academy. Academy has these little game camera batteries, little 12-volt batteries, and they run about $24, so they're not too bad, fairly cheap little investment. But I wanted to wire that up because it's lightweight fairly, and I wanted to wire it up to the horn. So I figured out that mounting it back here, I wanted it evenly spaced on the chassis because it weighs enough. It'd probably throw the balance off a little bit, but I wanted it back here by the axle so it was protected. So I took a piece of aluminum, flat aluminum, and I just drilled a couple holes and mounted it on each side of the chassis here, and that holds the battery in place good and firm. Ran a negative ground right here to one of the bolts, and then I'm going to run the positive through a push button switch here on the side of the frame to make the battery, or to make the horn sound. For tie downs, I used a piece of just zip ties here and here, and then this one, I just took a piece of plastic from a plastic bottle, cut out a strip, and then drilled a hole in it for a wire hold right there. Man, these bed frames are really tough steel, and I got this DeWalt set for Christmas and they work really good, but it only goes up to a 1/2 inch, and I needed the hole slightly bigger than that, so I had to bust out my burr and make the hole a little bit bigger, and they made pretty short work of it. So I'm going to finish wiring up my switch and then get everything mounted back the way, get everything wired in and flip it over and see how everything works. Thing is, with that burr, it leaves metal all over the place, so I gotta clean up all my metal particles also. Now I'm trying to decide if I want these two terminals hanging down or if I want to turn them slightly so I have better ground clearance, so I don't run the risk of hitting those on anything. I could, but then that wire is going to hang out there. I'm not sure. Let's leave it like that for now, I suppose. Okay, what did my wife do with my wrench? There it is. There we go. Had to take apart my injector tester to get my push button off there. So now if I need to test my injectors again, I gotta take this apart. Now then, now this is a rechargeable battery. So eventually once I run it down I can recharge it. Okay, that should pretty much do it for the horn. Everything's wired in. Good to go. Flip it over, clean up my mess, test everything out. Alright, trying to come up with an idea for the handle. I want to do kind of a T-handle type deal. So what I'd come up with was I wanted to use spark plugs. I had like a huge box of AC Delco spark plugs for small block Chevy for my last vehicle. I don't know why, but I always kept the extras when I change them out. So I got these nuts here, that thread on there. So what I was going to do is weld these two nuts together, thread in a spark plug on each side, thusly put one more on the bottom, and then this fits perfectly over my half-inch handle there. However, my wife kind of talked me out of it. She says, nah, it's not going to look right. So I don't know, too much shiny stuff or whatever. So anyway, I had a kind of a small set of pool balls, like smaller pool balls for a mini pool table. So I drilled one out and there. Ended up with an 8-ball handle. So cool enough, and it works good. I didn't even have to glue it. I just pressed it on there. Used a 1/2-inch bit. And it slid right on over and looks good. So if I get tired of it, I might switch back over to the T-handle, but that's what I came up with. Originally, I had a chrome skull shift knob I was going to put on there, but I cannot find that for the life of me since I moved. I don't know what I did with it. I know I wouldn't have thrown it away, but it got misplaced somewhere. So anyway, that's my handle now. Well, there it is, completely done. Turned out really good. The Rat Wagon is complete. The 8-ball, did some pinstriping on the front, little design, and then the pinstriping around the bed. Also, there's the horn mounted on the front. It's got the white walls. The 500 is off my Galaxy. Got an extra one. So, and then there's the push button for the horn. So, I'll give you a quick demonstration of that. Nice and loud. So I can blast people at the car shows. Anyway, that's it for the Rat Wagon. Show you. Upcoming project is the pedal car, so stay tuned for that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's got a really cool patina on it, and so it'll be something eventually. I just don't know what. Something similar to the Rat Wagon, but might be motorized. We'll see. Anyway, that's it. Rat Wagon complete. Thanks for watching.